and very, very rare.
Thinking about it, though, thinking about these characters from these books, I imagine there are fans out there that are going to say, he needs to be this specific way, say it these ways, be this way.
So.
No, but do you feel you have to go very strictly back to the book, or do you go to the script for these kind of things?
We developed the character, you know, as inspired by the book, but you have to take ownership of it to some degree, man, as well. And also, you know, when people read a book, there is less of a passive participation like you would be watching a film. You are creating, you know, the phenomenology of a book is such that you're creating all the images and the faces of the characters in your own mind. You're like, oh, Tom Natsworthy looks like my uncle, you know? Everybody has a different face, but now they're all going to have to deal with this face and no other face.
That face, you got it? Everybody remember it, because it's going to be there. I think Christian said it outside when we were in the panel there. I love that he said, living on London. He made sure to say we're on London, not in London. Is it hard to remember sometimes that you're actually, again, on this machinery compared to on solid ground? Because you're on sets and everything.
One of the first things that kind of hit me when I arrived in New Zealand and they took me on a kind of tour of all of the studios and everything was, oh my God, my acting has to live up to what these people have created. And that was the first moment I was really scared, because the talent of the artists that work at Weta and at Stone Street Studios, it's incredible. So yes, it's a huge action movie and there's a lot of green screen, and you have to kind of, to an extent, imagine that you're on London and you're on this machine. But the art department does a phenomenal job and makes it super easy so that you're not just acting in front of a green screen, that you've got things to use. And I feel like, as far as I remember, sometimes sets even shaked. Yeah, there's a lot of wind, and some tremors, I think, yeah.
We were sitting out there with you in the panel a little bit, and you talked a little bit about the inspiration for creating the character Shrike, or the movement, let's say. I loved it so much, I think everybody else needs to hear it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Shrike is the character's name, and Shrike is also a predatory bird. It's not like a hawk or anything. It actually looks more like a sparrow than anything else, but it actually is a nasty little predator. It's called the butcher bird, and what it does, it kills its prey, maybe a small rodent, and then it hangs it on a thorn or a fence so it can feed on it later. And I thought, that's pretty cool. I can work with that a little bit. So I started off with birds. What he is, Hester Shaw at one point describes him, she's trying to describe the indescribable, and she says he's like a house that's been vacant for a long time with a new tenant in it. And that's actually good, because there's this sort of frame left, and this new thing is put inside of him. But in any old house, there's still vestiges of the lives that were there before, whether it's the old wallpaper or the nick in the floor. So, I mean, these are things that trouble Shrike, it seems to me.
Hey guys, so that was it. That was our discussion with everybody from the cast and crew of Mortal Engines here at New York Comic Con. This is Matthew Shuckman for Den of Geek saying, check it out.